Hey, what's up guys? Auto Fanatic. So I haven't done a video in a while, so this video is going to be the last wash of my 2023 Rosa Etna Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. Now, you can see here, the car is loaded with pollen and the car is going to get picked up probably maybe today or tomorrow. So I traded this car in. I tried to sell this car privately and I just gave up. And I just think, just showing you guys the condition of the car, we're just going to do a quick 007 snowstorm touchless wash. We're gonna hit it with some 007, and at the end of the video, I'm gonna give you guys a full walk around if anybody is interested in buying this car from a dealership where the dealership could possibly CPO it or offer you financing. So what I've learned from being in the car business for so long and selling cars for so long is that when you're selling a car above $25,000, it just makes it very, very difficult. You know, people really like to go to a dealership for financing, for trust and all of that stuff. So even though I sold my 21 Rosa, the Alfa Rosa, you know, through a client, but that was a different situation. But it's really, really hard to sell a car over 50, 60, 70 grand privately. It just really, really is, unless it's like a real specialty car. But something like this, it just seems that the target audience, they don't have the money, they need financing, and you know, as a private seller, I can't help with that. So what I'm gonna do, I haven't done a video in like 2 months, the weather's been horrible, I've been jammed up at the shop, I'm trying to get 2 cars into body and paint, and then I'm also gonna do some videos on some of the restoration projects as we wrap them up and they're coming along. And as the weather stays nicely, I'm gonna start doing some more content, drive videos and all that. Now my new car is already here, it's not in my possession right now. I'm having some Expel PPF done on the nose and all of that stuff, and I should be doing a reveal video hopefully in a couple of days, maybe by the weekend. It really depends on when I get the car back, but that car is here, this car is gone. I already signed the title away, so I can't really do much with it now, so I'm just gonna clean it up. I'm gonna keep it in the shop until it gets picked up, and I'll give you guys at the end of the video a little bit of a walk around. Now, some guys love or hate red cars. I mean, I'm kind of partial. I like it in most lighting conditions, but then some lighting conditions, I still prefer other colors on a sedan. That's just my personal preference. And I'll talk more about it during this little wash and talk as far as why I decided to sell this car. And a lot of you guys may not know, only people that know me well and I talk to regularly know the situation on this car. This is the actual second 2023 Rosa Etna Giulia Quadrifoglio that I've owned. The first one that I did the video on when this car came off the truck, not this car, but the other one, that car had a significant issue, and I'll talk more about it in this wash and talk, and this car is the replacement car. This car came from California. So let's get set up. We're gonna, got the Nix foam cannon. Remember, this was the last video I did on the YouTube channel. I've just been so busy and the weather's been terrible, and all of a sudden we got nice weather. So we're just gonna be doing some 007 snowstorm. We got the Auto Fanatic Professional Wheel Cleaning Foam in the MJJC foam cannon. These are the keys, 2 keys to the car. The car is, this is gonna be the nicest pre-owned QV you're gonna find in this spec. Also, there were only 2 23 QVs in Rosa Etna that came with the carbon roof, came with the Sparco seats, came with the lane keep assist and all the options that this car had, and I owned both of those cars. This is the second car. The first car came from out west, and then this car came from Santa Monica, California. So let's get set up. We'll give this car a little bit of a wash, make it look good towards the end of the video. Then I'll give you guys a walk around. I have the window sticker in the trunk. It's laminated. I'll show you guys the condition of the car. And for anybody that watches the Auto Fanatic YouTube channel, like I said, I think a lot of you guys will approve and like the new replacement car. Some of you guys may think I'm freaking nuts and crazy. Listen, I buy stuff that I like. I don't buy stuff to, you know, create content. I create the content. If you guys watch it, I appreciate it. If you hate the car or want to bash on it, listen, you do what you want, but I have no time for that stuff in my life. I love cars and I buy stuff that appeals to me, whether it's one of these, whether it's the Stelvio, whether it's a Ferrari, whatever. It doesn't matter. I buy what I like. I don't buy cars like all these other YouTubers to create content and then they're freaking living in debt because they lease the cars or they have big balloon notes and they came and paid them off. All these cars are paid off. I don't owe any money on any of my cars, and I buy what suits my lifestyle. So let's get started right now with this wash, and we'll talk some more about it, and you guys will see the new car very, very soon. All right, guys, so we got the MJD foam cannon, Auto Fanatic wheel cleaning foam. We're just gonna zap the wheels. We're not gonna go too crazy. mega thick wheel cleaning foam. I'm just going to use one of my wheelbarrow brushes to get in there. So another thing too, very interesting, because I've owned so many of these cars before. Now, my black Giulia Quadrifoglio, that was one of my favorite cars ever, and unfortunately, the local dealership destroyed that car, and it became unsafe and unreliable, so I was forced to get rid of that car, and then I got the G80 M3, and what really struck me on the G80 M3 was, yeah, it was something different, but it was the color. I just loved that green, and that's why I also bought the green Stelvio. I just really, really like that color. You guys can look that up, like regarding like color therapy and what certain colors evoke emotionally and mentally, you know, as humans. It's pretty interesting. You know, red is very aggressive color, very anxiety driven. And I like red on Ferraris. I like it on Porsches. I like it on like that new Lotus Emira. It just seems to work. On a sedan, I never was huge into red. Now, the reason I decided to get rid of this car is twofold. Number one, the color. I do love the color, but I don't love it enough that I wanted to keep this car longer than what I've already kept it. The reason for that is, driving around in New York, you could see so many cars on the road that are in a similar shade of red. You have Mazda. Mazda's paint is far superior to the Alfa, but Mazda has a nice red. You got Ford has a nice red. You got Kia. You got all these other brands that have a nice red, and it really doesn't make this car stand out, being that it's a very limited production, very special car. And it's just one of those things where it's like, it just looks like it fits in with everything else on the road around here. Now, maybe it's different where you live, but I'm going based on, you know, where I live in the metro area of New York. This is actually an awesome brush. This is not a toilet bowl brush. This is actually a bottle brush with an extended stainless steel handle. It just works awesome, and it actually gets in here, you know, with the limited caliper clearance, because the 5-hole wheels on these cars, they don't really give you a lot of caliper clearance. So then look, another thing too, I take the brush and I kind of go in there and I can clean the lug pockets pretty nicely. So we got these things done. Okay. And I just feel like I have the microfiber, I don't know if it's Microfiber Madness. They make a flat brush that goes in there, but for some reason, this just works better, you know? So there we go. We got these wheels cleaned. Now we're gonna do the other side, and we'll set the camera up. We'll do some more. Oh, look, I missed a spot. So the car has been driven in the rain. It rained all weekend long, and as a result, you know, it just makes the brake dust seriously cake on. So I just want to clean the car, even though it's technically no longer my car. That just shows you the type of person I am as a car enthusiast. I actually care about how I trade in a car and give a car up. So let's get set up. We'll do the other side, and then we'll start foaming this thing up, and we'll show you guys at the end of the video the finished results. So guys, regarding my sequence of cleaning wheels on these Alfas, even my Stelvio, I usually start to do the rear wheels first, because it seems that the way they programmed the braking systems, the rear wheels accumulate much more brake dust than the fronts. I have no idea. Usually, conventionally, a brake system is predominantly front-based in terms of the brake buys, but on these cars, it just seems a little bit weird, but that's just the way it is. So I start always with the rear, and then I work myself over to the front. Okay. The wheel cleaning foam, you can kind of see it there. That's our Autofanatic wheel cleaning foam. We're actually going to be doing a new production run of all our chemicals very soon, except we are on hold right now because of the bottle situation, because our bottles are manufactured in Taiwan, and this trade war nonsense going on is going to be an issue. So I'm not going to, you know, fall into that trap. So we're just going to hold off, and we just hope that we don't sell out, and that you guys that go to the store every day don't run into an issue. So FYI, you know, think about it. If you guys watch this video, you love our products, go to our store, and we appreciate the support, you know, for everything that I put into this brand, and order some stuff and stock up. We also have the Hypergloss, the ceramic waterless wash and spray sealant. That's back in stock. And then we just got to deal with this bottling situation, because they're trying to charge us 3 times the price per unit of a bottle, and I just can't justify that on a plastic bottle that's going to be discarded and not recycled. Because most people that are detailing cars, they just throw the chemicals out, when they're done with it. They're not going to recycle that stuff. And I just can't believe what some of these vendors are trying to charge for plastic bottles today, and they're trying to use this tariff stuff as a means of screwing people over, just like it happened in 2020 with the shortages. So, all right, wheels are done. You can kind of see it there. Wheels are clean. We're gonna just blast it quick with the pressure washer, foam it up, and continue on. Just zap it quick. Also, the wheels are in perfect condition. I was talking about it before and I totally lost my train of thought. So, out of all the QVs that I've owned, 4 of them that you guys have saw on the channel, 2 of them that were identical twins, all of them had 5-hole wheels except my 2018. They had the Tecticos. And then I bought a set of 5-holes for winter. But, I don't know, I like the 5-holes. It's classic. I just don't like the finish that's on the barrels. And I also don't love the weight of them. They're just a little damn heavy. I wish that they would have done the 5-holes in a forged wheel rather than a heavy cast wheel, but I'm not gonna pre-rinse the car. Not really needed. We're just gonna foam it up, let it dwell, and do a contactless wash. All right, guys, so we got the Nix foam cannon. Now, I did a video on this. These are back in stock on Amazon. We're just using the 007 Snowstorm car shampoo. That's the final edition. I didn't change anything in this gun. I didn't change the orifice. I didn't do anything. This is just out of the box. Incredible value, incredible foam. So check it out. Now, the reason I don't pre-rinse when I'm doing these pollen washes is that I want the weight of the soap to help pull it down off the car. Now, something else I'll talk about with my wash setup over here at the shop. I'm using DI water for everything. I'm not just using it for the final rinse. And it does affect the foam output a little bit. Usually without DI water, I get a little bit heavier foam, but I think this is pretty good though. And we got some really thick foam right there. You can see the pollen, it's like blowing off the car. The stuff is nasty, and it just happened like so quickly. Everything just bloomed. We just had such a harsh winter, 6 months of cold and rain and just a lot of moisture. And all of a sudden it just changed. And here we're at. So we're gonna let that dwell for a few minutes. We're gonna pressure wash it. I'm gonna blow it off, hit it with some 007 gloss enhancer ceramic. Then I'll give you guys the full featured walk around of the 23 Giulia Quadrifoglio before it goes by. Like right now, this color looks awesome right there in the sun. When the sun hits it, you see that? But when it's overcast, it's been overcast for 6 months, I don't really love this color. I like to use up all the soap in the foam cannon. I don't really like to use it for the second wash. So there you have it. We're gonna come back in a couple of minutes, pressure wash it off, blow dry it, and I'm gonna call it a day. And then I'll give you guys a walk around. I'll show you guys the condition. The condition's awesome. This car is pretty much perfect, 10,000 miles. I put about 4,000 miles, maybe a little bit more than that, on the first 23. And God, what that was a total clusterfuck of a disaster. So I'll talk about it now real quick as we're waiting for it to dwell. So I put the video up on the YouTube channel that I'm selling the M3. And I got contacted by a dealership that says, hey, we want to buy your M3, but the deal is you got to buy one of our Alfa Romeos. I says, okay, let me see what you guys got. They had one of these in this spec in stock, made the deal. The car showed up at my house at midnight. Didn't really think much of it. You can't really inspect the car in the dark. Put it in the garage. Next day I go to look at it. I dropped it off to go get PPF. And the PPF guy, my friend, called me. He's like, hey, Phil, we got a problem with this car. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, you got to come over to the shop and see it. I get over to the shop, and we find out that the car was mangled. They sold me a car that was crashed. Now, what was crashed? The lights were out of alignment, the bumper was loose, the hood was all messed up, there was overspray all over the engine, the rear quarter panel by the taillights was buckled and repainted. The car was mangled, okay? I flipped out, so I contacted that dealership. I said, you have two options. You either give me my money back and send me my BMW back, one or the other. I sue you, or I make a YouTube video and I sue you. I said, what are your options? And as soon as I mentioned I'm gonna make a YouTube video, the manager of the dealership says, no, please don't do that. So obviously their reputation was important not to do that. Now, I don't know if the first one was damaged at the assembly line. I just can't imagine that Alfa Romeo or any car manufacturer would have let a car go out the door like that. It could have been damaged at port. It could have been damaged on the ship when it came over from Italy. It could have been damaged at the dealership. All I know is that the dealership definitely knew that that car had some damage and they didn't disclose it. So they had their hands tied, but then I had my hands tied because I signed over my M3 title and the car was thousands of miles away. So what do? I can't just go there and go get my car back. So it was a real pain in the ass, but I got to give them credit. They actually honored their word. They let me use the first one for several months. And then when this one came in from the boat from Italy into Santa Monica, I sent somebody to go look at it. I paid him to inspect the car, make sure the car was legit. And they bought that car from California and shipped it to me. And then we had to swap cars out. And I will tell you, it was an absolute disaster with the New York State DMV because of the titling and the taxes, because I already paid the taxes on the M3. And then the DMV was trying to charge me tax on the full value of the car, not compensating the trade-in value that I was given on the car. I got like over $80,000 for the M3, and I only paid like 87 for it, 86 or 87. So I made out on that deal. And then we had to factor in the shipping, and it was just an absolute disaster, something I never really want to go through again. So unfortunately, purchasing the 23 QV was not the most pleasant experience, and it kind of like bothered me ever since that all happened to me. Someone that's like as perfectionist as I am got screwed, and they tried to sell me a car that was damaged and hit without telling me, which is very, very unethical. But they did the right thing. I'm not going to mention the dealership's name. I never made a YouTube video because, like I said, they made good on their terms, and everything has been settled. But now I decided it's time to move on from the 23 Rosa Etna Giulia Quadrifoglio. So let's rinse her down and get this wash finished up. The wash is finished. Just finished it up with some 007 Gloss Enhancer Ceramic, Griot's Garage PFM 16x16 towels. You can see it. Also, like I said, if you guys are interested, anybody's interested in buying this car, the entire nose was done in Expel Ultimate, headlights. We got the Autofanatic rock guards. The entire rocker panels are covered in PPF. Also the B-pillars and behind the rear wheel. So the car is in outstanding condition. There's no dents, there's no damage, there's no chips on the edges of the doors. I'll give you guys a quick walk around. Also, all of the parts that came off the car are going to be for sale. We're going to have a full video on the Autofanatic channel soon because Jerry sold his 2018 QV. We have multiple sets of mirror caps, GTA parts, steering wheels, coilovers, multiple sets of coilovers, lowering springs, carbon AC vents, carbon instrument panel, all of that stuff. So you can see here, the car is freaking flawless. Sparco seats, there's no damage. Nobody ever sits in this car. Okay, now I'll loop around to the other side. How you're going to know this is the Autofanatic car is because of the custom Alcantara steering wheel that's staying with it. I was a little lazy when I did this wheel. I'm not 100% happy with it, so it's going with the car. So you can see there the instrument cluster, everything's taken back to original. There's no mods in the car. The car currently still has the Alfissimo lowering springs. The original springs are going with the car. You can see the back seat. It's flawless. Everything's perfect. No issues inside the jam. Sometimes, you know, seatbelts get caught and they chip up in here. This is clean as a whistle. Look at that. Everything's good to go. The car was not abused. The car's been taken care of. Carbon fiber roof. Excellent. The car needs a good paint correction. I just haven't had time to do it. I've just been so busy. Let me just pop the trunk. Show you here. So on the first one that I got, this area was buckled on both of the taillights. It was just really, really bad. You can see here, the trunk is perfect. Here's the laminated window sticker. So this car was $91,450 plus $3,000 to get it here, and I paid someone $750 to inspect it. So this car cost me a lot of money. But like I said, this is what it is. So the optional paint, all of these prices went up. $1,750, you see all the specs right there. So that's it, guys. This is the last video on the Auto Fanatic channel you'll see of the 23 Rosa Etna Giulia Quadrifoglio. Thanks for watching. Sorry it's been so long since I posted a video on the channel. I've just been overwhelmed, literally overwhelmed with projects at the shop. But I'm gonna get back to posting some more videos and definitely wanna show you guys a lot of the restoration projects and updates on that. Now that the sun is out, this color looks freaking incredible. Look at that. Absolutely incredible. So I gotta take my license plates off the car right now. I got an appointment at the DMV to drop them off to get these plates turned in, because I'm actually on the new car. I'm gonna get some new plates probably in about a month or so. Maybe I'll do a personalized plate. But stay tuned to the channel if you guys wanna see the Auto Fanatic replacement car and the new car reveal, possibly this weekend or early next week. But I think a lot of you guys are gonna definitely approve, and some of you guys are gonna think I'm out of my mind. But what I was looking for in terms of a replacement car, I looked at the CT5V Blackwing, CT4V Blackwing, the BMW M2, the Lotus Emira, the Corvette Z06. I was playing around, but then it came down to the conclusion I needed something that was gonna be a daily driver. I needed something I could throw parts in, fold down seat, a little bit more practical, so that crossed off the list, the Lotus and the Corvette. I am thinking about getting a Z06, possibly this summer. I'm planning on renting one. I'm gonna rent one for 2 days, shoot some content, and see if I love the car enough to actually physically buy it. I don't know, we'll see. Because when I rented the C8 a couple of years ago, I didn't love it enough and I did not go out and buy it. So we'll see. But thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned to the channel for more content. Also, remember, head over to the Auto Fanatic web shop. Like I said, we're just gonna have a little bit of a delay in production because of this bottle situation with the trade war, but go to the website, pick up some of your favorite products. This stuff is incredible. We sell so much of it. You can see it right there. It just makes the paint look like candy, and it's the ultimate drying aid and ceramic spray detailer. So thanks for watching. Head over to the Auto Fanatic website today, and if anybody that's interested in buying this car, go to the Auto Fanatic website, go to the contact form, send an email with the subject line 23QV for sale, and I will put you in touch with the manager at the dealership that we traded this in for, and hopefully you guys can work out a deal before it gets there, and this car is going to sell quick. And remember, the way you're going to know this is my car is by that custom Alcantara steering wheel. Hope you guys are well. Stay tuned. I'll see you guys in the next video real soon. Take care, guys.